It's day 62. Let's get started. Capitalization, I'm going to do that at the end because some of you like to check your answers and some of you don't need to. So we'll save it for the end. Let's go right to punctuation. Use hyphens between letters to expand a word or spell out a word. For example, help, H-E-L-P. Use a hyphen to separate syllables. For example, rescue. Use a hyphen to divide words into syllables at the end of a line. At least 2 letters must appear on the first line and at least 3 letters on the following line. And their example is replace. You would do the hyphen after the R-E and then have the rest of the word on the next line. So let's take a look at our sentence. Pretending to be sick, Jennifer raced toward her very best friend, held her stomach, and slid to the sofa. All right, well, we have an introductory participle phrase that's going to need a comma. So we have pretending to be sick, comma. Jennifer raced toward her very best friend, comma. Held her stum, hyphen, ack. Held her stomach, comma. And slid to the sofa, period. So we had 3 verbs in a series there. So that's why we separated that with commas. The verbs were raced, held, and slid. So when you're finished, what you should have is something that looks like this. Pretending to be sick, comma. Jen raced toward her best friend, comma. Held her stum, hyphen, ick, comma. And slid into the sofa, period. All right, very good. Next section, parts of speech, pronouns. There's a lot going on today in the pronoun section. Objective pronouns serve as objects, direct objects, indirect objects, or objects of the preposition. That's great if you remember what the objective pronouns are. And in case you don't, you would want to go to day 43. And under parts of speech pronouns, it lists the objective pronouns. Me, him, her, us, them, whom, you, and it. So you might want to take out day 43, double check it. If you didn't highlight those objective pronouns, highlight them now so that you remember what they are. Okay, so now that you've remembered what your choices for objective pronouns are, you're going to write a different objective pronoun in each sentence and then write the type of object. All right, I'm going to grab my pen here because I'm going to help you guys out. Give blank your word, okay? So to figure out what type of object you've got here, you need to analyze the sentence. Who's the subject of the sentence? It's you, understood. You give what? You give word. You give your word. So would you say you give me your word? Would you give her your word? Yeah, that's what you would use. You could say, give to me. It would be understood. So if you have a objective pronoun, or any type of noun actually, and it's in a place where you could put the word to in front of it, and it's between the verb and the direct object, hopefully you remember from day 60 that that would be an indirect object, okay? Indirect objects were from day 32, 39, and day 60. All right. You can pick which objective pronoun you want to put in there, but it's being used as an indirect object. The next sentence, 3b, I know blank. Okay. So we have the subject is I, the verb is know. What is receiving the action of the verb? The direct object. So right here is going to be a direct object, but it has to be a direct object in the objective pronoun form. And if you remember, that would be me, him, her, us, them, whom, you, and it. So you can pick an objective pronoun, but it's being used as a direct object in this sentence. I know you, I know him. Okay. Next, we have C. Leah brought her cat with, and then we need an objective pronoun, but we need to determine what type. So Leah is the subject, brought is the verb, cat is the direct object. Leah brought what? Leah brought her cat. And then what do we have here that we have in parentheses? A prepositional phrase. That means here, whatever we choose to use for our objective pronoun is being used as a prepositional phrase. I'm sorry, an object of the preposition. So it's an object, where'd it go? There it is, object of the preposition. All right, so you filled in with what objective pronouns you wanted to based on page 43, and then I helped you figure out how they were being used. If you have additional questions about that, get a hold of me in class. There was a lot of information there. All right, next section we have is the sentence fragment run-on section. Write F if the words form a fragment. Write RO if the words form a run-on, and write S if the words form a sentence. So let's look at 4A. The council will decide, but the results won't be available until Monday. Do we have a subject and a verb? Yes, we have council and we have will decide. And does it make sense? Does it stand alone? It does. So that would be a sentence. All right. Next we have keeping peace in the world community, comma, a universe without war. Is that a complete thought? Well, let's see. We have keeping peace in the world community. That is an introductory participle phrase. So we said right there it's a phrase. So we know that that's not forming a sentence. And then we have a universe without war. Universe would be the subject, but there's no verb. So we would say that that is an F for fragment. It's a long bunch of words, but it's still not a sentence. It's a fragment. Then, appoint someone chairperson of this committee. Do we have a subject? We do. It's understood. It's you. You appoint someone chairperson of this committee. So we have a subject, we have a verb, we actually have a direct object. Do we have something that makes sense? Appoint someone chairperson of this committee? We do. It's a complete thought, therefore it is also a sentence. Now, for those of you who are wanting to check the capitalization, traveling Interstate 81, they enjoyed the beautiful Shenandoah Valley and the Allegheny Mountain of the East. Here are the answers. I hope you tried it by yourself first so that you're getting better at your capitalization. Here would be the things that need to be capitalized. So double check what you had with what I have. I think I forgot to mention the combining of the sentences, but you know you always do that. So combine your sentences and I will read them. God bless you.